Hi, this is Mike Kelly. Talking to you today about college planning. Kelly Financial Group here in Antelope Valley since 1977. There are two very different prices for college. One the informed buyer will pay, and the other for the uninformed buyer. Which do you think you'd prefer? What we're going to cover today is current college landscapes, the college funding retirement savings dilemma. Which one do you do? We'll cover some of the basics as far as how it all works. We'll get into completing the FAFSA form and some of the information you need there. Who's eligible to receive financial aid, college admissions, and financial aid problems and minefield that you can go through, and any next steps that you might need to do and what you should take. Current college landscape. As far as cost, top concerns. Limmer did a study with parents that had students in high school. Their top concern, fear of parents' death before the children are grown, saving for retirement, job security. Number 4 on the list was saving and paying for college. So even though it's not at the top of the list, it is something that is on the list and very, very important to most people. 4 short years be in college. When students hit high school, parents start to think about these things. 2013, the average cost of attendance for a public university was $18,000. For a private college, that average is now up to $39,000. And when you look at it over a period of time, this includes tuition fees, room and board. Today, for a 4-year public education, you're looking at $78,000. For a private education, you're as much as $168,000 for the 4 years. 10 years from now, those numbers are staggering as far as growth. And this is based on a 5% annual growth in tuition costs, when in real life, tuition costs are going up at about 7%. One of the more frightening for the 2013-2014 academic year, there were over 150 colleges that charge more than $50,000 a year to attend. Staggering prices. The savings dilemma. Which do you do? Do you save for college or do you save for retirement? This is part of the problem that many, many people have because they want to pay for their kids to go to school. They want to help them out, yet they want to retire with financial dignity. Both of these compete with each other. How can you do both? In looking at your college savings, okay, that's $78,000. Now, if we're up to 15 years, you're looking at $180,000. In 20 years, the price is just too depressing. And really, this is just for one child, and only 57% of freshmen enrolling in college graduate in 6 years or less, meaning you've got another 43% that is still in college after 6 years or haven't graduated at all. Good news, college planning is not just savings for college, it's also saving on the cost of college, and that's really where we can help. There's no one-size-fits-all. It's all about knowing the ins and outs. It's about understanding your financial situation, your circumstances. You don't want to have to pay more for college than you really do need to, and a lot of that comes down to just education. Some of the basics, there's 2 main time frames in this subject. One is the strategic college planning. Second is the tactical planning. Your strategic college planning is where you save for college. That's birth through high school. Your tactical planning is starting when they're a junior in high school in years 16, 17, all the way through years 18, 19 in the beginning of college. It's important that you move tactically and you move your money around tactically to take advantage of all of the scholarships and all the financial aid help that you can get. By making smart decisions each step along the way, you'll have a much better outcome when it comes to paying for college. The big thing to remember is your expected family contribution, or your EFC. Colleges use the EFC to determine your eligibility for financial aid. It's parent and student income combined. It's looking at your liquid assets. It's looking at your college funding plans, your 529s. Everything is all included in this, except for retirement type plans. The EFC is the minimum you're expected to contribute towards college cost. So your expected family contribution, or EFC, is a number that you need to know, and it's something that you need to understand. Financial aid that's provided on the FAFSA forms that's used by most public universities, and you also have the CSS profile by private universities. These forms are what are used to determine your EFC. Financial aid is determined by taking the cost of attendance, which is your tuition, fees, books, supplies, room and board, minus the family contributions, parents' income, students' income, spouses' income, and that gets you your financial need. Ways you can get money to satisfy the financial need, grants. Think of a grant as a graduation gift because you don't have to pay it back. There are Pell Grants, federal aid. There's federal supplemental education opportunity grants for low-income students and exceptional financial needs students. There are Cal Grants. Those are state aid. These are grants that are guaranteed to every high school senior that applies on time and meets income eligibility and GPA requirements. Applying on time means being one of the first ones to come in. Financial aid is awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. If you apply January 1st, the odds are much better than if you apply February 1st. The early bird gets the financial aid. Scholarships are typically free money based on the areas of study or merit. They're based on good grades, high test scores, special talents, community service, financial need. Loans, there are two basic types of loans. There's government subsidized loans and there's private loans. Your federal loans are low-interest loans that are due after graduations. Your Perkin loans are administered by the colleges and are for students with exceptional financial need, meaning they need a lot of extra help. On the Stafford loans, which is one of the most popular ones, there's two types there. There's subsidized Stafford loans and unsubsidized Stafford loans. Your subsidized ones means that the government will pay the interest while your child is still a student in school. They do not have to start paying it until after they leave school. An unsubsidized Stafford loan means that you have to pay the interest while the student is still in school. Big difference as far as out-of-pocket expenses. There's also PLUS loans that are available for the parent of students attending colleges. Those are private loans available to the parents, again, based on financial standing and need. There's also grants. You have a Cal Grant A, which can be used for tuition and fees at public and private colleges. At CSU and UC schools, this Cal Grant will cover fees up to $5,472 for the CSUs and $12,192 for the UC schools. Cal Grant B provides low-income students with a living allowance and assistance for tuition and books up to $1,473 a year. Cal Grant B can also help pay tuition and fees in the same amount as Cal Grant A after year one. So if your student makes it into year two, you can get up to $12,000 at a UC school. Don't forget the Board of Governors fee is waived. Any California community colleges, the $46 per unit enrollment fee. Basically, your kids can take courses at a community college for as little as $1 per unit. Very important, very economical. You also have competitive awards for students with a minimum of 3.0 grade point average from low and middle income families, your Cal Grant A competitive awards. You have Grant B competitive awards for students with a minimum of a 2.0 from disadvantaged and low income families. So there's two different types there. Your Cal Grant C awards help pay for tuition and training costs at occupational or vocational technical schools. This is a $547 award for books, tools, equipment. You can also receive up to an additional $2,462 for tuition after year one. Awards and scholarships come in, request that loans be reduced first. A lot of times the schools will take the loans and not award the scholarships and awards because they can then use them for other students. You have to request that the loans be reduced by the amounts of the awards and the scholarships. It's important that you do that. Free money, the sources for free money are school merit-based scholarships, your school need-based financial aid, and grants like the Pell Grant. Cheap money is subsidized loans. That's money that you do not have to start paying, and you don't have to pay the interest until after the child graduates from college. And then there's the gap or the shortfall. You have your college savings plans, you have other private loans, plus loans, home equity lines, third-party, family, grandparents, relatives. Strategies that increase financial aid eligibility will reduce your cost, the gap, and the need for debt financing. You want to try to eliminate borrowing money and taking money from friends and family. You have free money, again, scholarships, you've got grants, you've got awards, there's tuition discounts that can be offered by many private colleges. You can also get loans, there's low interest loans that have a deferred payback schedule, income and asset planning strategies you can use to help you qualify for those loans. There's some excellent strategies for business owners that qualify for additional scholarships and loans that employees don't. And then there's some tax credit strategies that can really help save you some money. The cumulative effect of implementing all of these is it will reduce your EFC. If you can reduce your EFC, you reduce your cost of college for your students. Very, very important. The EFC, to give you an example of how this works, if your expected family contribution is $15,000, okay, so just as an example, you have a state university where the cost is $22,000, minus EFC, your financial need is $7,000. A private college, you're looking at a cost of attendance of $60,000, EFC is $15,000, financial need is $45,000. Many people just mistakenly just disregard the private college, thinking that's just too much money. We can't afford that. The EFC is the starting point for your out-of-pocket college cost, not the cost of attendance. It's important that you realize that this is what your EFC is. You then have many other factors that are going to affect this. As an example, if you're looking at that public university, when you subtract out your EFC, the financial aid of $7,000, you've got federal student loans, there's a gap of $1,500, means your total cost out of pocket to the parent is $16,500 per year. Whereas with the private college, if you subtract out your EFC from the 60, it leaves 45. Many private schools have scholarships, grants, loans. They have a lot of programs to basically eliminate that entire $45,000, which means your total cost to the parent is only $15,000 or less than it would cost to go to a public school. Many private colleges have this type of program for you. Private colleges can end up costing less. You know, when you look at these, you go, why would they do that? Number one, they must compete with the lower price state schools. If you have a good student that has extracurricular activities, that is really a good citizen as well, they will compete for the students, and they will compete against the state schools. They also have a lot more money, and it's their money, so they make the rules. They decide how it's passed out and how it's spent. Completing the FAFSA forms. Okay. First of all, you need to get the information on your FAFSA. You need to obtain a federal student aid PIN, a personal identification number that allows you to file your FAFSA electronically. You get this by going to www.pin.ed.gov. What you need to apply, you'll need important documents, your most recent tax returns, bank statements, brokerage accounts, expense accounts, especially child support payments, your income taxes paid. You're going to want to have your tax returns for 2 years. You're also going to need your financial aid PIN numbers, Social Security numbers, driver's licenses, and the financial aid codes for the schools that you want to put on the FAFSA forms. Applying online is much faster and more accurate. You can apply online by going to FAFSA.ed.gov. You can apply to up to 10 schools at one time and use them to work against each other. There's 6 parts to the FAFSA application. 1 is student demographics. 2 is school selection. Again, you can list up to 10 schools. You have your dependency status, a series of questions to determine whether the student is dependent or an independent student. The parent demographics, financial information, income, expense information. I'll get into quite a bit more in a minute. And then you need to review, sign, and submit the document. If you mail it, it will take 3 to 4 weeks to receive your SAR, your student aid report. If you file online, you'll receive an email that links you to your SAR online in 3 to 10 days. Again, time is of the essence. As we said earlier, applying for financial aid, the early bird gets the loan. Part 5 is the big one. This is really where you have to provide all of your personal financial information. It is not difficult to complete. It is long, and it is time-consuming, up to 2.5 hours to complete this form. You're going to need to list all of your income and expense information, all of your taxable income for both parents and students, any unemployment, any dividends, any annuities, any interest, alimony received, rent collected, business income, non-taxable income for both the parents and the students. They're also going to want to know your taxes paid and any child support paid. You should have 2 years' worth of tax returns on this. They're going to want to know all of your assets, all of your cash, all of your savings, all of your checking accounts, net worth of the parents' investments, except for retirement plans. This is very, very important that you keep your retirement plans out of this, and if you do have an excess amount of money, you get it reclassified as a retirement plan if possible. They're also going to want to know the net worth of any family businesses and or farm. This excludes farms that are a principal residence. The SAR report lists all of the information included on your aid application and tells you how much money you'll be expected to contribute. Your EFC will also be sent electronically to the schools you designate and your home state scholarship agency, as well as the state agency of every school on your list. So if you have 5 schools listed on your FAFSA, the state agencies for all 5 states will be notified that you're interested in those schools, and they will look for financial aid for you. It's now up to the college financial aid administrator to take all this information, determine your eligibility, and develop your financial aid package. Your annual cost of attendance is the total amount of money that a college or university calculates is required to attend that university. Your financial aid eligibility is determined by subtracting your EFC from your total annual cost of attendance at any given school. And again, this is the process that you go through when you're filing your FAFSA. Some of the myths people believe in that cost them thousands of dollars every year. Myth number 1, I make too much money. Myth number 2, I'm a part-time student. I won't get any aid. Number 3, I already have a college savings plan. Number 1, my family's income is too high. Income is only part of the process. If your adjusted gross income is $140,000 or less, you should be eligible to receive financial aid. Part-time students do qualify for financial aid. Okay, it is available for part-time students. I will not get financial aid because my parents put money in savings. That's not necessarily the case. Yes, 529 plans and college funding plans are not necessarily the best place. Those have to get spent first. Any money in the child's name has to get spent first. But you can have up to $40,000 in bank accounts that will be left out when they're calculating your assets. I think the actual number is 42,000. But it's important that you realize that having that money in savings, that money will not be wiped out in order for you to receive financial aid. Setting up a college fund in your child's name is the best way to save for college. Not necessarily the case. Again, that any money that's in your child's name counts 100% against them for the FAFSA form. The money that's in your name only counts out on a percentage basis against the FAFSA. So your expected family contribution will include a significantly larger percentage of your child's savings than yours. It's not necessarily the best place to have the money. Also, waiting to apply for financial aid until after you've been accepted to your school of choice is a big mistake. You want to apply for financial aid at every school, even before you're accepted. That way, when you do start getting acceptance letters, you can play the schools against each other and decide which one is best for you based not only on which one accepted you, but which one offered the most financial aid. Who's eligible? Okay, in order to be eligible, you have to be a citizen or eligible non-citizen of the United States, have a valid Social Security number, have a high school diploma or a GED certificate, Be enrolled in an eligible program as a regular student seeking a degree or a certificate. Maintain satisfactory academic progress. Not owe a refund on a federal student grant or be in default on a federal student loan. For males, you must have registered for selected services if you're 18 or older. And you must not have any conviction for the possession or sale of illegal drugs for an offense that occurred while you were receiving financial student aid. The college admissions minefield. The process is overwhelming for many families. It's very involved. Lack of knowledge will cost you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. And you'll choose the wrong school, the wrong curriculum, and yes, your choice of major does matter in how much financial aid you receive. You will lose financial aid, loan strategies for covering shortfalls. You have to really take this on and do the planning correctly. To go it alone, it takes time, effort, expertise, and experience. If you get professional help, it's much, much easier. We can help find the best college fit for the students. We can help you save money on college costs, get you the right price, the right college for the right reasons, and a plan for you that also will help shield the family's assets. Again, we're back to that strategic planning. Birth through high school, you're saving for college. High school through the college years, you need to be saving on college. It's very important because these decisions will determine which college, that make sure you get the right college for the right reasons and you pay the right price. What we can do for you is provide a free consultation, diagnose your situation. We'll discuss your student, your goals, objectives, your obstacles, where you currently are in the process. Our goal is to help you achieve the right choices. It's very important that you have a plan, that you can get help with the FAFSA form, help with cover letters, scholarships, financial aid, investment guidance. You want to be able to pay for college without going broke. All of this help is very important that you get. And again, it comes down to you can pay me now or you can pay me later. The cost of waiting is staggering. Informed or uninformed, which buyer of a college education will you choose to be? The uninformed buyer or not? Thank you very much.